Hello again, everyone, and thank you for joining me. I am Dark Gorilla. Have you ever been frustrated that you couldn't get 5 stars on Operation Narai? Are you confused as to how to get those 5 stars you crave so badly? Well, never fear. Your friendly neighborhood Dark Gorilla is here to give you an insight into how you and your teammates can successfully complete Operation Narai with 5 stars. So anywho, without further ado, enjoy. So here we have Operation Narai, and I of course start off right here, saying I will go take care of the pop-up transports that will show up somewhere in the vicinity of H4, I4 on the map. For this particular battle, what you want to do is have one of your cruisers head down there, take care of those transports when they pop up because they will be trying to escape to J1. You'll also want to have either a cruiser or a destroyer to stop the enemy located at F10 or so. Of course, test fire there. This is when I noticed that the King George V is just heading high speed, so I blew my horn at him to let him know I'm there. The first 3 enemies that you will have that pop up are a cruiser, a battleship, and a destroyer over there on the far right of the map. Now what you see me do here is I start firing at him, and then I see that I'm going to fall a little bit behind him, so I move my cursor over. And then at that point I just have him locked and my guns are tracking, but I'm not visually following. I just keep letting the rounds fly. Then, when he dies, I swap to the battleship. And when I first fire, the rounds actually do damage because they're penetrating the thin armor located around the front end of the battleship. And then after a while, you'll see that they start losing their effectiveness, so I have to readjust and actually aim for a superstructure. After the battleship dies, I turn my attention to the destroyer and start putting my 5 inches to work. The Atlanta doesn't have good HE. It only has a 6% chance of setting a fire, so it's kind of rare, but you do have a high fire rate and a large amount of guns, so it kind of makes up for that. This Iron Duke over here, I'm going to start firing at him. Of course, it's hard to see exactly where he's going, so I just give him a good shot. Now we're finally getting hits. Not much in the way of penetrations. Drop some torpedoes right there just to see if maybe they'll hit, and if anything, they'll keep the AI turning in this direction. Knocks out one of my turrets there, but I get that up pretty quick. Keep firing. First, the torpedoes run out of steam before they hit it, which is kind of disappointing. And this will be the last bit of damage I take for quite a while. This is when I noticed that I was being followed by a destroyer, and I personally thought that was a bit of a waste of a destroyer. His services would have been better served along the front center of the map or along that far eastern border. This little bunker here is the only one that's sitting over here, so I proceed to just light him up with my machine. Of course, he returns fire. Apparently this bunker had 2 guns in it. One of these rounds is knocking out that turret, so now he's only got 1 turret left to fire back at me. Luckily with these particular bunkers, they don't have high accuracy. As you can see, I'm still detected, which is kind of weird because there's no one around, at least that I can see. And shouldn't be anyone able to spot me at this range.
Attention, enemy transport ships detected. Destroy the enemy transport ships.
Then I pop my radar and I say, oh, there it is. It's that ship right there is the one that's spotting me. Then, of course, you got to deal with this Nicholas that's coming around, and what he likes to do is he'll come out and smoke that little exit right there so that he can cover for all the ships that are coming out there. So I drop some torpedoes over there. Maybe they'll hit something. Maybe they won't. Then I turn my attention to the Nicholas because he's the only threat there, since he has guns and torpedoes. Of course, Atlantas are really good at killing destroyers because of their high fire rate. And the torpedoes actually hit that destroyer, which surprised me. Of course, now there's the smoke screen, so I can't see the ship that I'm firing at, so I put out a stream of shells to see if maybe I'll hit something. Give me an idea of what's sitting over there. And finally respot that St. Clair. And proceed to light him up with HE. I found that for these ships, HE works better. You'll see me swap to AP, but AP is less effective because you get more bounces and over penetrations than anything else. So for these particular unarmed vessels, you'll want to use HE to kill them quicker. See, I'm not doing nearly as much damage. As you can see, most of my shots, 33 overpens, 27 pens, 17 bounces. These here are the last two Liberty ships to attack. So I'll swap back to the HE to give it to him. Last Liberty ship, that sub-objective is completed. Now we gotta rejoin the main force, and of course I decided to go around the back route. Pop my radar here so I don't get any surprises from enemies that may be in the area. Radar spots the Campbelltown.
Ship commanders, provide cover for the transport ships.
I decide to engage the Dallas cruiser since he's moving away. Since he's broadside to me, I decide I should probably swap to AP to hopefully find his citadel. Unfortunately, I managed to do everything but find his citadel. Usually you can find the citadels for cruisers around their front turrets or toward the aft end of the ship.
Problem solved, sir.
You can see HE is much more effective. At this point, I then target that other bunker over there and do the same thing I did with the previous one. Bunker is locked. And just get that aim just where it needs to be. And at that point, I no longer have to look at it. Good fire rate to use. Next target is the New York, and just aim right in front of him and lob the HE at him. So the repair ship that is the AI is going to park himself around this particular base off to the left. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up right here, and I'm going to stop the ship right about here. And I'm just going to continuously lob shells over top of this island at the enemies that are coming from. And I'll also be inside the repair radius of this ship, so now I'll just sit here and start repairing. My recommendation for this mission is if you're with the main group that you continue to stick next to this ship.
Ship is on fire.
Keep it alive and just follow it in. The more damage you take, you just fall back around and start making the repairs. The Synop over there is, I think he should have done that, but instead he does something that I didn't expect and thought was a waste of the ship. We'll see that a bit later. Just continuing to rain HE on that network. Swap targets. Going to the Indianapolis and lobbing some shells in his direction. Maybe I can hit the Queen Elizabeth, so I'll lob some over there as well. Stop firing here to let the Gneisenau pass. The firing arcs of the guns are pretty good, but still don't want to risk hitting the superstructure on the Gneisenau. As it gets past, resume fire. That's when I noticed the Gallant over there was still alive, so I turned my attention to him. The Synop rams the Queen Elizabeth, which, once again, I believe was a waste of a ship. As you can see, the Maz up north is dealing with that carrier. And then he killed the carrier, so now we have all of our secondary objectives complete. All we have to do is get that top bar all the way to 2,000, clear this zone of ships, and we'll be good. Because at this point that I noticed that Phoenix was off to our western flank, so I decided I need to pay more attention to him. As you can see, the shores died from all the fire I was putting on him.
Excellent job.
Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And as always, take care, and I'll see you around.